welcome back to the Nations Cup final game of day 5. And here we are at OCBC Arena. My name is Brittany Carter. With me in commentary is Kimberly Lim. And Kim, we've had some good games to start, but I think it's all been building to this match tonight. Singapore against the UAE. Whoever wins this match goes through to the final. It is a huge deal, isn't it, Kim?
Yeah, look, I think that both teams know what's at stake. They're going to feel the pressure. So it really boils down to who makes the least mistake and who takes control of the game first.
And last year, Singapore lifted the trophy, so they want to defend their title. Whereas the UAE, this is their very first time playing Nations Cup. And if they make it through, both Kenya and the UAE will be there in their first years of Nations Cup. So that's an amazing feat in itself. Well, the MC is going to announce the teams now, so we'll let her tell you who's going to be in the starting 7 for each team on the court.
Let's get ready to welcome the final match of the day, the Singapore Vandals versus United Arab Emirates. Let's welcome Team UAE. In goal shooter, Charlie Preston. In goal attack, Eleanor Smith. In wing attack, Elena Farrell Morton. In center, Carly Lewis. Wing defense, Nicole Sproul. In goal defense, Fiona Van Dam. And goalkeeper, Kelly Lloyd. The rest of the team is comprised of Victoria Soul, Rachel Taki, Noor Hussein, Gemma Eli, and Sophie Hankin. The UAE head coach, Deborah Jones, assistant coach, Susie Foles, team manager, Suzanne Skelding, and physiotherapist, Jacqueline Eli. Now let's hear it for the Singapore Vandals. In goal shooter, Lee Pei Shan. In goal attack, Amandeep Kaur. Wing attack, To Kai Wei. And in center, Tan Yi Jie. In wing defense, Kor Ting Fang. And in goal defense, Jamie Lim. And the goalkeeper for the Singapore Vandals, Micheline Kay. Now the rest of the Singapore Vandals is comprised of Mickey Ng, Sindhu Nai, Rachel Ling, Goh Wei Ping, and Rina Divya. And the head coach, Annette Bishop, assistant coach, Hazel Quack, team manager, Hu Yu Long, physiotherapist, James Hunt, and performance analyst, Jade Shaw. And the umpires for today are Rachel Stebbings and Iranga Sitara, with the reserve umpire, Shakatsa Lepaho.
Okay, some very lively huddles then. We saw Misha hyping herself up and Carly Lewis full of energy trying to inspire her troops as well. So having a look at the starting 7s, Kim, we see Michelini get the start at goalkeeper today. I don't think we've seen that so far this Nations Cup.
Yes, I think she's been a super sub for them coming off the bench, but through the competition, her performance has earned her the starting beat at goalkeeper.
And unfortunately, we did see Hankin go down with an injury in the game on day 4 for Ireland. Had to be helped off the court, and we see her now in a moon boot. So hoping it's not too bad, the injury. Nothing too serious. First centre pass here for the UAE. And we see 2 players in the one hole here, just getting a little congested to start. Again, yep, occupying that middle channel at the one time. I'm sure you're watching the midcourt very closely.
So I think UAE has opted to start the wing attack that replaced Hankins in the previous game. And she has a tough task for her with Ting Fang sticking to her really closely. So Ting Fang's a really strong man-on player. So she's really going to have to do her hard work and prep before she goes for the ball.
And Ting Fang is part of the leadership team, isn't she?
Yes.
For Singapore.
So we have Kai Wei and Ting Fang, who are co-captains for the team. So really playing the wings in this game.
Big cheer for the crowd for Singapore's first goal of the night. And a footwork call. The trend continues. I mean, we must have seen at least 10 calls in the game just before this one.
Yes.
And now it's creeping into this game here.
It's only been a minute into the game, and I'm already distracted from my shooting stance.
Here we go. Amandeep opens up her account for the night. Coming out for that centre pass and finding Kai Wei on the second phase. The shuffle on the edge of the circle. And Pei Shan puts it up. Oh, there she is for the rebounds. Down low though, and over the back line. That should have been the UAE's pick up. Really elusive, Amandeep, isn't she?
She has really quick feet, and she does a really nice sweep around the front to either get the ball herself or open Pei Shan at the back.
Preston from range.
So it's nice cut up by Kai Wei, dragging her player deep into the pocket. Unfortunately, just a miscommunication between Amandeep and Kai Wei, and UAE with the ball.
Rocking a different hairstyle today, Van Dam. Bit of creativity that the players can show with their hairstyles. And the socks and the shoes. Oh, Lewis in the pocket, and you see again Jamie Lim up and about nice and early. Throw in for the UAE. They send it high to the top of the circle, and Ellie Smith here just inching a little closer. Singapore covering Charlie Preston really well at the moment. She is their main target. Actually got a message on Instagram yesterday from Charlie's mum and dad here at the OCBC Stadium watching.
Oh, wow.
They've made the trip here from Dubai, and her nanny and grandpa were up in Adelaide in Australia, where she's originally from, watching on the stream.
Wow. That's a really long way to travel, and it's great that the family is so supportive. A bullet feed from Kai from long range straight into Pei Shan, and they reward Misha for the really nice intercept.
Singapore looking to go back to back. Etier just patiently trying to wait for an option to open up. But this is an offside call. Kai Wei just trudging over to pick it up. No real urgency. Amandeep.
Smart play from her, just waiting for the defender to go up on the jump before she released the second pass to Pei Shan.
Yeah, made out like she was going to send it in long, and then, you know, there was other plans there. So Singapore leading by 2. Lewis to Smith. And Preston. Oh! If that had gone in, that would have been amazing.
Yes.
Instead, into the hands of Michelini. Amandeep likes to pop through at the top of the circle there in the middle channel.
It's something that gives her the option to pass and cut with the midfielders or have a direct feed straight into Pei Shan. Singapore off to a good start. I think compared to the other games, they're really controlled in the passes.
And Pei Shan has been in the right place at the right time a couple of moments already. A little confusion about this penalty. In the end, Amandeep to take it right-hand side of the post. Out by 4 now. There's a lot on the line in this game, and so far Singapore are up for the challenge. The UAE undefeated coming into this one, so they're 4 from 4.
I think they want to keep that record going into tomorrow's games as well. So over the competition while I watch UAE, Smith actually reminds me of Erin Bell.
She does, yes, doesn't she?
The mannerism, the way she runs, and even the way she shoots.
And the curly blonde hair.
Yes.
Now that you've said that, I can't unsee it. It's like this light bulb moment has gone off for me. Oh, Kai Wei through the hands and judged as a replay here. So today's word of the day is Singapore. Head to the Netball Singapore Facebook page for more information, but you can win a TV. It's a Prism 55-inch. So make note of the word Singapore and head to the Facebook page to find out more.
Louis just protesting to the umpire that it was their throw-in off the hands of Ting Fang, but umpire deemed it as a Singapore ball.
Oh, a big long one then. The wind up from Jamie, and it's taken only a couple of passes to get into the circle. Amandeep now likes it long. Oh, it pops out though, and Peishan, I mean, one of the great advantages of having such a tall shooter like that is she's there to mop up any mistakes. Nice crowd in here tonight to cheer on the home team. Another footwork. You usually don't see these many calls for stepping at international level, do you?
Yes, so I'm really wondering if there's something is it the double foot landing or what is causing so many footwork calls this competition?
Singapore approaching double digits. And a little tip here from Lewis. Meant it fell into the hands of Sprawl. Loy needs an option coming through. ETA called aside. Smith doing a lot of the heavy lifting to start this game. She's putting more shots up than we normally see from her. Usually it's all about feeding Charlie Preston, but Mish is a good height matchup for Preston.
Yes, and I think she has really quick footwork, so actually she's able to roll around to the front or back to keep the ball. So that might be actually what's stopping UAE from giving the quick feed into Preston.
You can see the last 10 goals, 4 of them the UAE's way, but there's a run of 4 there for Singapore of the 6 that they've scored. 10-6.
Good hands from Jamie running through and ETF the pickup.
So Itia is someone that tends to fly under the radar, but she's so speedy and quick, isn't she, at centre?
I think with her fitness, she's able to keep running the game and it doesn't look like she will ever slow down.
It's a good start for the Vendors. That pass wasn't the best, but they still made use of it. Kai Wei smiling as she sets up Amandeep, a big feed over the top of the pack. And we see Amandeep really trying to set up Peishan as much as possible just to ensure that the goal is scored.
And I think Amandeep is really good at varying it. It keeps the defenders guessing whether she's going to shoot, she's going to do a double pass, she's going to do a second pass for Peishan. And like with most of the goal attacks you see in this competition, their faces are calm. You can't really read what they're doing.
Preston, couple of pumps from in front. Really running onto the ball here, Singapore. But Kai Wei shut down as an option a couple of times, then was able to hit circle edge, send the feed in. Feels like the UAE have done their homework, haven't they?
Yes. So earlier on, off the ball, both defenders were actually with Kai leaving Ijie wide open. So I think they definitely have a game plan to take her out of the game.
Stuck for an option here. You can see the Singapore defenders pushing the shooters really high. They have to work it way back to the transverse line. So penalty inside. And Smith, the no-look goal assist. So a change here for UAE. Sproul going into goal defence. I believe it's Tucky that has come into the game at wing defence. Oh, flying out there was Kelly Loy. And look how revved up she is. She thought it was her ball. Really stuck here. Singapore squeezing the Falcons. Surviving the double challenge from the defenders, Smith, to get the shot through. Singapore keen to roll on with it. Bit of whistle creeping into the game.
Ooh, not wholly in the circle. No, with the new rule where you only need 1 foot in a circle, you would think that this error wouldn't creep into games anymore.
It's a rare call, isn't it? You don't see it often.
Well, it goes to show the umpires are really watching for everything.
Keeping an eye on the feet for sure. Amandeep from long range. And you can see the double tagging Amandeep, just trying to shut that option down, but Peishan was waiting for it under the post. And they made light work of that, Singapore. Oh, big clash here. Jamie Lim just getting tangled her arms with Smith. And I think I know we're up the attacking end here for the Falcons as the ball comes off and over the back line. But defensively, the UAE have got a lot of plans and they're varying it up from centre to centre.
Yeah, and I think it's what I think they've done homework on Singapore. That Singapore, again, when they get momentum, they really build on it. So I think they're trying to disrupt play. Kai Wei must have forgotten she's the winger thing. With such a hard drive, she looks like she was about to shoot.
Turned over, though, just as quickly. And now over the back line. Yeah, for those that haven't watched Kai Wei play many times before, she's tends to be in the circle a bit at goal attack. A different role this Nations Cup, filling the hole that you've left at wing attack.
I think with her experience, she's actually able to create the space for Ijie and Amandeep. And this, in turn, gives Peishan more time to get her hold in the circle.
Oh, brilliant work from Jamie there.
You could see even the ball landed outside. She was already indicating to the umpire she touched it.
Ting Fang, deep to Ijie in the pocket. And here goes Amandeep again. It doesn't even touch the sides. That's how accurate her shot is. So double the score now, Singapore. Did you expect them to start this fast?
I expected a closer game, but I think Singapore has again done their homework. They know what they need to do to defend UAE, and at the same time, they must have looked at the game as well and what to clean up. And it's showing in this first quarter.
Oh, again, Jamie just spoils the party, ensuring the UAE doesn't get another goal right before the break. And there is 10 goals difference here, 19-9. The Singapore Vendors leading from the front. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Cancer isn't a death sentence. When cancers are found early, the chances of treatments working becomes very much higher. This early detection is made possible by a life-saving understanding of our smallest genetic material, microRNA. This technology that only Mirxes has can catch signs of diseases that are revealed by patterns of microRNA in our body. All you need for this early detection test is just a bit of blood. Here is where the test will be manufactured, at Mirxes' brand new facility in Singapore. It's now working on the world's first big clinical research study of its kind to make a blood test that can detect 9 different cancers in their earliest stages. When developed, this first ever cancer blood test will be better than any other, more sensitive, more specific. Mirxes is working to sequence the genome of the population and identify those who are more likely to get cancer and other diseases. Because of this wonderful technology, doctors can find the diseases earlier so people can live better lives.
Back out for the second quarter. Singapore currently lead by 10. And we were just having a look back at the UAE's games over the week. And really, if they had not had such a close game against their regular rivals in Ireland, where the match was decided by 2 goals, they won. But had they not had such a tight margin there, Kim, then they might have been through to the final without, you know, no matter what happened here. So that really tight game, even though we loved watching and commentating it, has actually cost them a little bit and made it more challenging tonight to know that they have to win to get to the final now.
Definitely, and I think that's why even in competitions where you have slightly less experienced teams, you can't take them lightly, because ultimately, like what's being shown now, the goal average might come into play towards the end.
Hell ball here on Carly Lewis, and she throws her hands up saying, "Where was everyone?" Need you to come forward. Tim Fung. Kai Wei, the give and go. And another give and go. Not unusual.
You could see Deep trying to fight her way into the circle as the mid-court players kept her out, but Pei Shan just went on with her own play.
And when we were having a look at your stats,
Oh, and I'm off already.
but towards the end of the first quarter, we could see there was a real responsibility shared between Amandeep and Pei Shan. And when we looked at the UAE, there was still that reliance on Preston, but they were unable to get her the ball as much.
So I think Misha is doing a really good job to confuse the space and do her work off the ball. And that has put Preston under a lot of pressure to find space.
Oh, Misha! Well, was able to get a hand to it. The block on the pass, but straight back into the UAE's hands. Farrell Morton sends it to Preston. This time she had the front space, and that looked like it was an easier option there to the post.
And I think as I was watching the game against Ireland, Preston seems to take a bit of time to find her rhythm. So hopefully, you know, as the game goes on, she starts being able to understand what she needs to do against Misha.
She's only 18 years of age, Charlie Preston, but stands at 185 centimetres tall.
It seems like there's a lot of young players in this year's edition of Nations Cup. Whereas we have Kelly Loy in the UAE team, who's 47 years old. He's almost 30 years of Preston's senior.
Yeah, bringing the average up a little bit. But I think we do see teams like Ireland and UAE at this Nations Cup using it as an opportunity to give younger players a go, because they've got Netball World Youth Cup qualifiers coming up next month. So Gibraltar next year will host the under-21s World Tournament. And so this is a real bit of prep that they're doing now to set up their young teams for the qualifiers to come.
This will be much needed experience for them, especially against, like, what's unique about Nations Cup is that it gives the teams a variety of styles. Usually when you play regional competitions, it's roughly the same, but this you have African, you have European, you have Asian styles, which is what makes it unique.
What a shot. The crowd goes wild for Amandeep. Deep into the pocket. Offensive contact there. So what was the umpire saying, that she pushed off to find space, potentially?
I think the umpire was indicating the elbow.
Ooh,
okay. A really good take from Kai Wei. Unfortunately, he's not able to pick up. So I think what they've been calling a lot in this competition is, as well as when the attackers are holding front space and they push off. So that's where the contact call is coming. But at the same time, it's really quite hard not to move your arms when you're running.
Pei Shan had a really great hold then. And she puts it down for Amandeep to take a crack at goal.
Ever reliable Amandeep, the moment the ball's in her hands, you know it's going to go into the hoop.
Oh, cutting out the mess all on her own is Charlie Preston. And they capitalise on that, the UAE. Five minutes gone in this second quarter. Singapore leading the UAE 25-13. Oh, great work from Kai Wei then. And Pei Shan, the cherry on top of a great passage of play. Carly Lewis likes to drive down into that right pocket, doesn't she?
Yes. And I think there was previous game against Ireland as well. She used the pocket so much. I was wondering when the defenders were going to come out for the hunt.
So contact call here, edge of the circle. Into the breadbasket for Smith. Lovely flick, and you're right, so much of this is very similar to Erin Bell's style of shooting, isn't it?
It's quite hard to unsee it, right?
Yeah.
Good long drive by Itier into the pocket.
Off the top, and Peishan first to it. What a rebound. Her athleticism grows each year she's on court.
Itier doing a really good job on the wing attack, really shutting down the spaces. I think that was about her 5th run before she got free.
Kai Wei unhappy that she was unable to punch through for that center pass. Showing her emotion in her facial expression.
Oh, she wears her heart on her sleeve.
Up the guts. And Smith, what a graceful take. Looks to post. The UAE are really going to have to start winning some ball back defensively here. In attack, they've found their rhythm for sure, but struggling to really offset what Singapore are doing. And just having it all their own way as Amandeep is toying with them as she sweeps around the edge of the circle.
I think it's really tricky to find and follow deep, right? You're not too sure with Peishan at the back. Do you want to double up on Peishan, or do you want to risk it by following Amandeep?
Midway through this second quarter. And Peishan, her accuracy from range.
Peishan's actually also a basketball player.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, so actually she does have the ability to shoot long, but over the years it's about building her confidence to do so.
And Peishan was also part of the Blaze team, wasn't she?
Yes,
Yeah.
they were the champions for Netball Super League this year, along with Jamie, Ting Fang, and Wei Ping. Nice looking by Kai. She saw the defender with her eyes down, and she just swung the ball straight into Amandeep.
So changes happening for the UAE here. They know this game is slipping away. Sproul into goal defense. Was she already up there before? Van Dam into goalkeeper.
I see. I think with UAE, it would be nice to see them go body up on the attackers. And the Singapore team right now has a lot of space to work with, and that's what's giving them that free flow to do and be creative with the play.
Hugging the inside channel. Preston finds her feet. Somehow Kai Wei got through for UAE defenders then.
Her persistence in trying to come off a centre pass all the time has paid off.
It feels like the UAE are really hanging off the body. They're trying to create that zone defense, but it's not working at the moment. And Singapore are running straight through the gaps. There's been times where we see Kai Wei and a particular Itier completely unmarked, and is it allowing them that space that they're after?
Yes, and I think with Singapore, we play a very short, sharp game. Giving them space doesn't really, I guess, help the defense. I would really love to see them hustle a bit more, put some elbows in, and displace the Singapore attackers' bodies.
Well, that was clever then. Again, Itier unmarked 3 UAE players just watching it sail over their heads. Oh, and Amandeep bobbles it over the back of the court here. So here's an opportunity for the UAE.
So you can see the UAE bench at the back standing up and just telling the team to calm down.
Yeah, Ting Fang always prowling, and a stepping call against... Well, do you know, I was thinking earlier today, if there's going to be footwork calls coming, Kai Wei is someone that is quite tricky with her feet. And so I'm surprised she actually doesn't get called more often. I mean, she's obviously very crafty, but in a scenario where the umpires are watching really closely, I thought maybe she'll get picked up tonight.
But I would think also, precisely because she's so fast, umpires can't make the call if they're not sure.
Yeah.
And because she also releases the ball so quickly, maybe by the time they decide it's the forward call,
it's moved on.
Yes. But I guess in that instance, the umpire deemed her as traveling with the ball.
Oh, Misha, well, she came out looking for it, hunting for ball. Didn't quite get the timing right, but the idea is there, and I feel like the more she does that, she's going to pick up some possession that way.
Mirxes has always been a hunter, and she plays both goalkeeper, goal defense. And in this competition, you've seen her in wing defense as well. So she's really mobile.
You can see her really, I want to say bullying, but that's the wrong word, like just pushing Charlie Preston around a little bit under that post there, dictating space.
They're just giving her a reminder that she's there.
Yeah. Pushing her to areas of the court where she wants her to be rather than where Charlie Preston wants to be.
Yeah, and with young players like Preston, by doing this over time, in the second half, it's going to pay off because it gets into her head.
Beautiful drive then. Around the top of the circle from Etier. And Peishan underneath the flip back. Comes off. Now Etier feeds Amandeep. Had to reach for it, but it results in Singapore's 35th goal. Passing back here, the UAE. Maybe I went too quick on the scoreline then. 34-21, sorry. Smith, back to Farrell Morton. Really having to stand up here, share that shooting responsibility a little more than previous games. Sailing through the air was Amandeep. Peishan rocks back, finds the net, and there's the 35th goal.
I think the Singapore team, like today, they're a lot more daring to release the pocket balls. But whereas against Kenya, they were quite hesitant, and that's what's getting, I think today that's how they're getting their flow.
Skimming the top of the circle there, umpire deemed her offside.
What's great about the UAE team is that they're not protesting the calls, they're not showing frustration, they're going straight on defense. And that's what they're going to have to do if they want to win the ball back in the next half.
Kai Wei keeps it in play, gets it off to Peishan. Oh, and that needs to go on the highlights reel.
We spoke about her being fancy earlier on, and she's just shown how good she is at it.
Bit of freestyle play. Rolling on here now with the centre pass. A few bounce passes happening, and then there's the pass right over the top of the pack. Catching the defender's eyes down. 16 seconds here until half-time. And there's a mix-up. Ting Fang pounces on the ball. Amandeep's going to have to send it in long, and she does so to take Singapore to 38 as the clock ticks towards half-time. Well, that was exciting netball, Kim, from Singapore.
Wow, and in half a game to score 38 is amazing.
All right, well, of course, we've got some brilliant highlights to come your way from that opening half as Singapore in front at the moment of the UAE.
cancer isn't a death sentence. When cancers are found early, the chances of treatments working becomes very much higher. This early detection is made possible by a life-saving understanding of our smallest genetic material, microRNA. This technology that only Mirxes has can catch signs of diseases that are revealed by patterns of microRNA in our body. All you need for this early detection test is just a bit of blood. Here is where the test will be manufactured, at Mirxes' brand new facility in Singapore. It's now working on the world's first big clinical research study of its kind to make a blood test that can detect 9 different cancers in their earliest stages. When developed, this first ever cancer blood test will be better than any other, more sensitive, more specific. Mirxes is working to sequence the genome of the population and identify those who are more likely to get cancer and other diseases. Because of this wonderful technology, doctors can find the diseases earlier so people can live better lives.
Let's get ready to welcome back the Singapore Vendors and UAE for the third quarter. Let's go.
Interesting little chats being had here on court. Carly Lewis just speaking with this pack of young defenders behind her, just making sure they're focused and ready to go. So Alana Farrah-Morton moves into wing defense to start this quarter, and we see Gemma Ely into wing attack.
So
Aussie-born player.
Yeah, so fresh legs. I hope she can make a difference. For Singapore now is really being able to keep the intensity and keep the score difference and not allow AUE a chance back into the game.
And the UAE, yeah, Gemma Ely is only 18, so another young one.
She's pretty tall for a wing attack at 179 cm. 179 cm? That's almost Jamie's height.
Should be a good matchup for Ting Fang.
Yes. Earlier on, Ting Fang really had to work the ground, and this time now, with a tall wing attack, she needs to keep her eyes up for the high balls coming in.
You can see the umpires smiling, just letting the crowd have their fun before they bring the ball out.
So Ijie off the first center pass. Unfortunately, really good defense from the UAE team. It was an untouched center pass picked up by Preston.
So the difference was 10 at the first break, and at halftime, 16 goals, 38-22. And so UAE with a bit of work to do here. But we were commenting at halftime about the accuracy of Amandeep. She's shooting in the 90 percentile.
Yes, and I think that's more of a norm for her than an exception. Nothing phases her, whether it's a long shot or under the post. Like, I think during the break we were speaking earlier, I would love to see her in the international league. Like you mentioned, maybe in the UK, in Suncorp would be awesome.
Oh, Michelini just throwing her body on the line, and it comes up with the intercept. Doesn't get to take the pass because Jamie's right there. But certainly hunting for glory here. Helping out in transition. And this will release the pressure a little bit for Singapore, who are struggling to get through that mid-court.
Well, deep with the screen. Usually you see patient screening for Amandeep, but just switching it up here.
Having a little rest while she does set up the screen. Yeah, good box set up here from the UAE. So on this occasion it works. They're stretching Singapore wide. And you can see Kai Wei not really an option, but directing play with the pointing. Here's Pei Shan. Singapore hit 40. Good build-up in play there for the Falcons. I like how after each goal, Charlie Preston claps her hands together and lets her team know that, yeah, I like that, good work, keep it up.
Maybe she was praising herself.
Oh, maybe.
But I mean, these are the kind of players that keeps the spirit of the team up, especially when you're down by 16 goals. You need to be able to keep that connection with each other to try and have a chance to win the game. I think it's an offside call on Ijie.
There's Ely. You can see she is quite tall for a wing attack, almost a head over the top of Ting Fang. And again, Misha and Jamie combining to turn ball over for Singapore. So at the recent Pacific Oz Sports Series, Misha was part of the senior side, wasn't she?
Yes.
So how many times have Jamie and Misha linked up before?
I didn't watch the full competition, but what I watched, there was a lot of changes within the defense just to try out the combinations. And of course, during trainings as well, they've had opportunities. And it's showing now the connection that they have. They have been having good switches and confusing the space. And because they're both so tall, they've covered almost the whole circle.
Our ball here. Once again, Jamie wants to take it. She probably could put the ball down and let Misha take that, right?
Maybe she's forgotten she's wearing the goal defense kit.
Potentially, because she plays goalkeeper mostly.
Yes.
Yeah, because she could become an option up the court if she put it down. Oh, Kelly Loy's after it. But the umpire calling them back. Sorry, not Kelly Loy, Nicole Sproul. They look similar from the back. Some beautiful passing here on show from the Van Daz. Smith sends it into Preston. Adds another to the tally. A little hand there from Lewis, and she has been so clinical for them, switching between offense and defense in that center role throughout the Nations Cup. Great feed then. I don't think Singapore knew where that ball was heading.
Yeah, and I think Jamie was also in half a mind to go out on the hunt and stay on Preston.
Another brilliant feed.
And a really good drive from Smith as well, just pulling Jamie off the front.
I know your heart bleeds red or blue in this case when it comes to Singapore. But if you were to give the other team advice about how to, say, shut down Pei Shan, what would you say at the moment? Because that ball is coming in far too easy to her.
I would say it's also doing a bit more off-the-body work just to rattle her a bit of nudge here and there, pushing her high up and make her second guess whether she wants to take the long shot or not. But of course, I think kudos to her. She has set herself up really well.
Oh, well, they said offside then, but I feel like Misha got out of the court and out of the way. Throw in though. So she must have tapped the ball out, sorry. Throw in here for Lewis. She finds Ely and all on her own. The two defenders lured way up out of the circle. Preston capitalizes. Good job from Smith, hey?
Yes. And you know, with this kind of passes, sometimes my hand starts to jerk because I'm like, let's get the ball. Nice front row from Pei Shan, opening herself up.
You can see the players really having to jostle for space here. Threading the needle comes off Misha last and over the back line, so the throw in for Smith.
It's quite clear what the game plan is for UAE. Smith was open in the front, but they've been waiting for Preston to open up, potentially because it brings them closer to the post and gives them higher opportunity to get the ball in.
Pei Shan calling for it and tried to get on the move. Last off the Falcons.
It's a good fake from Itia, pulling the defender off Amandi. And Amandi rewards her with a really nice shot.
Smith, long. On the edge of the circle is Ely, and she gives it straight to Michelini. Now, Misha is brilliant at turning over the ball, but you can see she's just a little bit of a klutz once she's got it. She doesn't know where to send it next. Still trying to get her footing half the time.
I think she's so excited to get a ball away. Sometimes her legs are still tangled up. But that's a problem you have when you're a tall player.
It's like a baby deer when they're learning to walk.
Bambi?
Or, yeah, Bambi.
I think a slightly more even quarter this time around. The score, if I'm not wrong, it's about 8-7.
Drops through for the Falcons. Yeah, you're right. There's only one goal difference from the margin we had at halftime. So 17 now. It was at 16. And that'll go back to 16 now with this goal from Preston. Great work from Pei Shun then to rein it in. A bit of a rocket pass out onto the circle edge too. I think Van Dam thought she was in court then. Throwing Singapore's way though.
Pei Shun's doing a really good job holding the front of the defender. So all the attackers really have to do is just drop it in front of her, and she has a really strong take as well. So we have a change for Singapore. Itie to the bench, and we have Rachel Ling coming on.
I think she's got her center around the wrong way.
Oh my goodness.
She's looked down at it and thought, that looks right.
If any of Rachel's friends are watching, please take a screenshot for her and send it to her after the game. It's understandable if it's the back beep. But just on the screen, she did look down to check. She hasn't realized it.
You've brought back memories of playing netball growing up. I would always, if my friends said, could you just put the back bib on for me? I would always put it upside down just to annoy them.
Oh man, so then I'll never trust you to wear my beep if we ever play together.
So this call against Rachel. Umpire just making sure she knows where the penalty needs to be set. Lewis to Farrell Morton. Now Sproul. Taking on the hip. And the intercept. Oh, doesn't quite come off for Singapore. Preston. If they can get her the ball, the goal is going in.
Yes.
It's just a matter of ensuring that they can reach the target.
And I think they can afford to look in a little earlier when Jamie is still preoccupied outside the circle. But what I've seen is they're starting to pass the ball sideways, and it gives Jamie some time to get in and work with Misha.
Three minutes left in this third quarter. I think that was, oh my God, from Charlie Preston then. Lip readers, we are now. So here's a change. We see Tori. Victoria Sol. I think it's Tor, sorry, her nickname. I keep calling her Tori. Tor Sol. In at goal defense. Gonna add a little bit more height there, I think.
I think it's the third goal defense that they've used against Amandeep, so I think she's really causing havoc for them.
Doubling back here. First real touch of the ball. And Preston, she's found her groove now. They've just got to back her in. 16 goals off. And turnover desperately needed. Can the fresh legs in defence find it? Pei Shun from mid-range. There's a penalty here. And this time Amandeep to take it where Pei Shun just was.
I find it quite interesting because usually when it's a penalty, you drop the ball for the goal shooter to shoot. But in the case of Amandeep, they drop the ball for the goal attack.
They switch over. Yeah. Is that something you speak about ahead of the game, or does it just happen naturally?
I think it happens naturally.
Okay. Whoever's more confident at the moment.
So Preston taking up the bulk of the shots for this quarter. So I think earlier when I mentioned she does take some time to warm up in the game, and it's taken her almost a half a game to do so. So I think unfortunately for UAE, it's a PT. It's taken her quite some time to get her groove.
A throw in for Ely. Double tagged here is Preston, but able to pop forward, find that space required, and nails another goal. 38 seconds here. Singapore feel like a well-oiled machine at this point.
You can see through the set that play, Patience has been demanding for the ball. And her eagerness for the ball is really showing through the whole game and in her shooting volume as well.
So since Rachel has come on, she's been pulled up a few times.
I think Carly Lewis also had a few words to say to her for that particular contact call. She probably has to stay off the body a bit more.
Goal doesn't count. 53-36 Singapore's way. And the UAE, a bit of work to do in the final quarter. So let's send you to some highlights from the championship quarter.
Tell me what your movement looks like. If you want to run,
Run.
if
You want to create your own rhythm?
harmony,
Balance?
move. Keep moving. Release yourself. Find yourself in life's constant motion. Sound mind, sound body.
Move your mind with
basics.
basics.
All right, let's get ready to welcome back the team for the final quarter. Singapore Vendors and UAE.
All right, final 15 minutes of day 5, and Etia back into centre for Singapore. Can't see any other changes. Oh, Kelly Loy back on now for the UAE in goalkeeper, where she started the game. Up front, they're no different, the UAE. Yeah. So just Singapore, the one change in centre.
So Yijie back on court with Rachel Ling to the bench.
And we were talking in the break, Kim, about how there's a big game to come tomorrow, obviously, for Singapore. They're now in front by a solid lead. Whether we would potentially see wholesale changes, let Singapore have a bit of a rest, get ready for tomorrow, and bring some of those bench players on. But whether we actually see them is another question, right?
Yeah, so I think there's two ways to see it. Maybe we'll let the main lineup run out the game just to build the connections for a full game. But maybe towards the end of the quarter, we can see some of the bench players coming in. Jamie seems to disagree with the umpire with a bit of a slouch of her shoulders.
Another player that wears their heart on their sleeve.
So a fun fact is that actually some of them actually came up through the age groups together. So Ting Fang, Pei Shan, Jamie, Kai Wei, so all of the 4 of the 7 on court were actually in the under-21s team together. And they actually made history by winning gold back in 2017 for the U21s Asian Champs. So you know, it's exciting to see them all on court now, growing up together.
Nice to see that progression of the next generation.
Yes. And maybe that speaks to why there's that connection there, because they've played each other for so long.
How often are the under-21s held for the Asian champs?
If I'm not wrong, because I've never played one before, it's every 2 years.
Okay.
So similar to our Asian champs, every alternate one is the qualifiers for World Youth.
And there's one of those coming up, isn't there?
Yes, and I think Singapore's going.
Yeah. In India? Being held in India? I feel like the location of it was moved.
Yes, I think it was at UAE and then we moved to India.
Well, through the hands of Kai Wei, and she taps it into Lewis as it goes over court. Well, that was a little sneaky move.
Lewis didn't look impressed at all.
Good hold over Pei-Shan from Kelly Loy, and it puts her off the shot, but who's there to mop it up? Amandi.
She has these gadget arms, you know, whatever ball you give her, it somehow sticks to her hands.
Little late to the contest, Etier. Healy to Smith, now with Preston, left-hand side of the post. And it feels as if UAE has really got a rhythm going, but they're not really creating that spark in defence to inspire the team to claw this deficit back.
Yeah, the game is going goal for goal now, but like you've said, they do need to get ball back to create a chance for themselves. But with 11 minutes to go, 19 goals, it's a bit of a hard challenge for them.
Lewis was an option at the back. Instead, they went to Smith, and Preston covered so tightly throughout this game. Throw in on the other side of the court. Smith to Lewis. Waited for Preston to open up, and the moment came. Good trust, right, between the feeder and the shooter?
Yeah, I'm also wondering, you know, how much you can test the umpire with that hole before you get a help ball.
Well, Pei-Shan just put her hands up then and just hoped for the best, didn't she? Stood her line, was able to take the ball. As defenders jumped all around her. Turn over here. Not even sure who the deflection came off. It felt like there were 2 Singapore players making contact with the ball at the one time.
Maybe Amandi cleaning it up from the back. So with all the loose balls we've been seeing this game, we've seen a flood of blue dresses, you know, that they have the eyes up and really going for the scraps.
Do you put that down to desire, really wanting to make the final?
Yes, of course. I think the chance to defend the title hasn't come easy, following on from last year's win. and they knew that coming in was a do or die. And it shows in the way that they have just gone about their business and really focused on their task at hand.
Because when we think back to Singapore in the inaugural years of this Nations Cup, they did win the first 2 titles, 2006, 2007. So was that the last time the team went to back to back?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll be a long time coming if we do win the title tomorrow.
Be interesting too, because it was such a long wait between those titles. So you went from, what did I just say then? 2007 to 2023.
17 years, I think. Oh no.
I feel like it was 16, yeah. If they were to get there and win it again, it feels like Singapore could only win it in 2s.
I'm sure this team will try and make it.
Yeah,
a
maybe
third
they
line.
create concession, yeah. Bit of a legacy. So it looks like Smith is going to come off for a rest. And who's replacing her in goal attack? Is it Ely?
So Ely's moved to goal attack and with a new wing attack coming in.
Yeah, Noor Hussain coming into the game for the first time tonight. Another really young player.
18 years of age. So this team is actually either really young or not too young.
More like us.
Yes.
Experienced is the word, right?
That's a kind of word. Good try from Pei Shan.
So something we were speaking in commentary about in previous days was the Dubai Sevens netball tournament. Have you heard of it before?
Sevens netball tournament.
Dubai Sevens? No? So it's based off the Rugby Sevens tournament that happens there every year, and it's a bit of like a global event that encourages people to come to the UAE and visit Dubai. And they've sort of tacked on a netball competition to it, but it's really popular. And so when we say Dubai Sevens, there's already 7 players each side, so they've limited the periods of play to 7 minutes. So they've shortened the quarters, or the periods of play. But they have thousands of people turn up to watch. Yeah, it's really popular. So they're trying to get some international fandom happening and hoping that they can make it a global event like the rugby there.
Well, I think it's time to invite Singapore to that competition.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Invite some international teams, yeah.
If, you know, or even just international appearances just to get the faces there and the fans watching. Wow, that's a really nice initiative that they have going.
Cool, isn't it? Well, Mandeep had a look at it for maybe a fraction of a second and thought, nah, it's going in. Turn and get ready for the next centre pass. Right throughout this game, she has not faltered.
She's the ever-dependent shooter. And I think her calmness on court, the fact that she doesn't show any emotions really helps the team stay composed.
Well, Misha just lurking and was prepared to pinch the ball then when it came free of Preston's clutches.
Yep, so earlier we spoke about where we discussed whether the Singapore team will make changes. So as the camera was just panning by, all 5 have actually beeped up. And I think the changes are coming in now. Yep, so all 5 are going on court. And the crowd just going wild to support.
Annette Bishop with a little smile was like, release the players, and they all just came out.
So we have Amandip going to goal shooter, Kai Wei moving to goal attack. Finally, she wants to be in that position. We have Wei Ping at wing attack, Rachel Ling at center, Mickey at wing defense, Rina at goal defense, and Sundu at goalkeeper. I feel like I've just read our full lineup.
Pretty
all 7
much.
positions.
Now, a player who I'm really looking forward to seeing on court today is Wei Ping, just knowing how well she played the other night against Singapore A. Got an opportunity in goal attack, and wow, she set the court alight.
Yes. That game was awesome to watch, the confidence that she had to make the create play as well as put in the shots.
Sindhu calling back for it, and Charlie Preston close to taking an intercept here. Oh, the pressure mounting on Singapore. I mean, we've got 5 minutes left in this game, and these super subs have come on quite fresh. They've got to find their feet, don't they?
And usually when we talk about substitutions, it's about how fast you are able to settle down on court. So early on in that play, it seemed like they were all waiting for someone to make the move. But of course, UAE did a really good box defense over there.
(65-43). Singapore leading United Arab Emirates. Throw in for Singapore. Oh, I feel like Rena had the urge to send it long then and thought better of it. You could just see any defender knows that look when they're looking down court and they think, could I wind this up or should I play it safe and reset?
Amandeep just holding her face over there, probably earned herself a knock with the elbow. But still, didn't affect her shot, a long range shot from her.
Just a little late on the jump. And Amandeep, no worries. What is Amandeep like off the court? She seems like quiet, just gets on with business.
Yeah, she's... I want to say she's the noisiest also.
Really?
Does she look very hyped up? Yeah, I think she behaves just like that. She's a bit quieter compared to some of the other players like Yijie, Kai Wei, Pei Shan, who are a bit more out there and creating laughter. Yeah.
Yeah, she just seems so focused 24/7. Offensive contact called here. Great take then from Noor. Chased down by Ely to ensure they kept hold of it. And two players in the one hole. Oh, into the legs, and there we go, pick up for Sindhu. Wei Ping fires it into the pocket.
Amandeep just speaking to the umpire over there, but game just played on.
So a little over 2 minutes left in the game here. What we know is that Kenya is through to the final, Singapore is through to the final. They have the opportunity to go for the two-peat.
Yes, and we will have Ireland versus UAE in the third and fourth placing. They had a really close match on day 4, so I'm excited for that game as well. I think Singapore here will be looking to finish the game well. Unfortunately, a replay ball by Rachel, just taking her eyes off too early.
And so the UAE, this will be their first defeat as we see Sindhu get up. Well, she's full of beans, springs in the shoes.
She's done well coming back from her rehab. So she tore her ACL last year, I think in April. Coming back to Nations Cup, her first game was actually her 50th cap, a really great milestone for her. And you can see, you know, throughout the competition, her movements, her ability to get up in the air and confuse space. It's like she never left the game.
Into the final minute. Preston, solid as ever, underneath the post. So in these last 45 seconds, what have these teams got left in the tank? Collected from behind, Kai Wei. But it's interesting again, like, so Kai Wei gets an opportunity to go into the circle, and yet she's still passing off to Amandeep and letting her take the shots, right?
Maybe it's a subconscious habit just because Amandeep is there.
13 seconds. There's the example you were talking about, not being much of an advantage to the team when it's just inside that circle.
And that's the final whistle.
So this brings us to the end of the game. Singapore putting up a really great fight against the UAE. Final score 68-47. And this has earned them the route to the grand finals tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Yeah, so where do we think Singapore went right in that game? I mean, probably from the first whistle.
I think you could see they really wanted the game. They had confidence. They had the connections going between the two of them. And I think they had no more hesitancy in their passes. And like we spoke earlier, it's a good time for them to start picking towards tomorrow's big game.
Yeah, so a good 21-goal win here for Singapore. What a way to go into the final day. They should be full of confidence. What have the UAE got to consider as they come up in that third, fourth match playoff?
I think with the game that they had that was so close to Ireland, they really got to start strong and not take too much time to warm up. I think earlier today they did take some time to find their footing, which was probably what caused the big blowout at the first half of the game.
I mean, selfishly, I am so looking forward to that match because the last time they met during the round robin play, that was the closest game we saw. 2 goals in it between Ireland and the UAE, so it should be a fantastic match tomorrow. And then Kenya and Singapore. Oh, it's a bit tantalizing, isn't it, Kim?
Yes, I'm quite excited that I'm not on commentary tomorrow, just so I can sit on the stands and really fully enjoy the game.
Oh, so you can ride every pass with them, every goal.
Yes.
And just having a look back throughout the days.
Singapore Bandits, Amandeep is with us. What a game, Amandeep. Thoughts on that?
I'm very happy with the performance that we have put up. I think we came in with a game plan and we stuck to it for 60 minutes through and through. So I'm very proud of them for doing that and keeping up the good work.
Fantastic work. It's a big day for you guys tomorrow. You will face Kenya in the final. How do you guys feel about that? They were also quite consistent in this tournament.
Yeah, I think we are very happy to have made it there and we have to just keep going like we did today, fight it for 60 minutes through and the outcome will be the outcome, yeah.
Fantastic, Amandeep. We wish you all the best for the finals and of course continue to support the Singapore Bandits.